A shocking investigation by the psychics. Dead children will come from the world of the dead to tell the truth about their mother. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a channel of exclusively true and amazing stories. People who call themselves clairvoyants unravel resonant criminal cases and unbelievable mystical anomalies. Victoria Marashko approached the psychics. Death is chasing the 30-year-old woman after she read a terrible comment from a woman she didn't know under her photo on the social media.
This is how you'll be dancing in hell. After I read it, I felt cold inside.
Soon afterward, Victoria had an awful car crash. It happened while Victoria's colleague was giving her a lift home from work.
A car appeared in front of us suddenly. It was hell. The police measured the distances we covered tumbling. It was 150 meters. I was thrown all over the car's interior until I fell out of it through the boot and fainted.
Victoria was found next to the car. She was pinned to the ground by a heavy wheel that fell off the car during the accident.
The doctors said they were surprised that I survived after such a crash.
After that, Victoria tried to find out who the woman from the social media who wished her to go to hell was. And it turned out to be Victoria's boyfriend's mother-in-law. Victoria's couldn't even imagine that the man she was dating was married. Later that evening, Victoria received a text message with a threat from an unknown number. It read, "You'll regret dating him." And the next day, an awful thing happened. All of a sudden, Victoria began suffocating and she felt she was fainting.
My body went numb and I felt dizzy. It felt I was blacking out.
Victoria was home. She started calling out to her sister, 17-year-old Diana, for help, but all in vain. With all the strength she had left, Victoria crawled to another room and found her younger sister lying on the floor, convulsing. Victoria barely got her phone and called an ambulance. Both sisters were delivered to the emergency care. The doctors hardly saved them.
I came to at the hospital. I was lying on a wheel stretcher, and my sister was standing next to me.
It turned out there was a gas leak in the lobby between the sisters and their neighbor's apartment. But the weird thing is that only Victoria and Diana suffered. Their neighbors, who were also home, didn't feel anything.
I'm very, very scared. I'm begging the psychics to come and help me.
Yana Pasinkova and Kayal Alekperov, two of the most powerful participants of the project, answered Victoria's call for help.
My jinns say that I'll need a children's umbrella.
What for?
I tuned into Victoria yesterday night, and then I had a dream of a little boy and girl in a house. They were dead.
Oh, God.
The boy had the same umbrella in his hands. The room erupted in flames when he opened it, and I heard the words the kids said before they burned, "Alina will die soon."
But who is Alina, and who are the children, and what relation does it have to Victoria?
We will stop the deaths when two women tell us the truth about the dead children. Hello.
Hello. I was looking forward to seeing you. Help me, please.
It feels like you're on the list of the cursed.
Could it be my boyfriend's mother-in-law? She texted me curses.
Her threats are empty. They bear no magic.
Yana, but I feel that somebody did put a death curse Victoria.
Who could it be then?
You suffered from your mother. The curse is connected to her. Your mother didn't need you. She didn't need you or her other two children.
I have a brother and a sister, Ole and Diana.
Is it your sister?
Yes, I think of her as my mother, because she's really like a mother to me.
Victoria raised her brother and sister since they were born. Their father left their family long ago, and their mother was never at home.
She could be away for 3 or 4 days. She simply wouldn't let me go to school, claiming I needed to babysit.
Victoria is the only person who took care of you.
She would stay hungry herself, only to spare food for us.
When Victoria was 27, her mother was thrown in prison for murdering her partner. She took custody of her 15-year-old brother and sister, who's a year younger than him, so they wouldn't go to an orphanage. And then she took them to live with her. Thanks to her, today, they both live and study in the capital city.
At that moment, I saw a picture from Victoria's past. I see you being raped.
I was 15 at the time. My mother took me somewhere with her and left me in a house with 2 men.
My God, but you were a child. This is insane.
What a horrible thing. The mother let her daughter, who was in school at the time, be raped.
You couldn't do anything.
I eventually escaped. I was barefoot and ran for about 3 kilometers without stopping. And when I came back home, my mother was smiling as if nothing had happened.
She was paid for what she did, for giving you to her friends.
But my book told me it wasn't her mother, no matter what an awful mother she was, who cursed her. And again, I saw the boy and the girl with the umbrella. You know, I had a dream of 2 children hiding under an umbrella. Do you possibly know what it could mean?
I had a dream. There was a gray house with a large window. It caught fire. And I tried to save them from there.
The little boy and girl?
Yes. I can't believe it's possible. I had the dream about a month before meeting the psychics. How come Kayal had it too?
The boy and the girl died. They're related. They're a brother and a sister. They died in fire.
The boy is fair-haired, and he's wearing a striped sweater. And the girl is dark-haired, dressed in something orange. My book says they burned in their house.
The children's spirits are haunting you.
Why are they doing it?
We must find out who these children are and why they chose you.
What if we check the information online?
There are many articles about the fire online, but only one piece mentioned a boy and his sister.
A brother and a sister died in a fire.
I saw these children.
They're haunting you, and you tried to save them in your dream.
I simply can't wrap my head about this fact.
To find out why the dead children kept haunting the woman, we needed to see the place where they died or were buried.
The following day, the psychics and Victoria are in the village where the tragedy occurred. Victoria has never been here before.
This is the house.
Victoria, is it the house you saw?
Yes.
Victoria couldn't imagine she would ever see the house from her dreams and recognize the large window through which she saved the boy and the girl in her dream.
This is the window. Why? I helped them. I helped them.
Victoria, you had no chance to save them. They started haunting you after their death. I see them. They are sitting on a couch, crying. These children went through a real nightmare.
They're terrified. They're holding to each other, and they have nowhere to run.
I hear them say, "Mom! Mom!"
Are they talking to me?
I asked them, "Do you need Victoria?" And they said, "Yes, we need her." I couldn't understand why the children's spirits called Victoria their mother. I had a feeling that another woman had given them birth, and we had to find her.
A weeping woman, the dead children's grandmother, approaches the psychics.
I can't even imagine how you lived through it.
The boy's name was Sviatoslav. He was 6 years old, and his sister, Stasia, was 8. After the tragedy, their parents moved to the neighboring village, where they were given a new house. The grandmother still lives not far from here. When they learned that the psychics arrived in the village, the children's parents, Vera and Hrihori, also came.
Hello, Natalia.
Alina.
This is our daughter and sister of Sviatoslav and Stasia.
And then I recalled my dream. I heard the words of the children who burned. Alina will die soon.
Does this mean the children meant their elder sister? Did they predict her death? But why? And what does Victoria have to do with it?
There was a strange connection between Alina and Victoria. They had similar energy, as if they were sisters despite their not related.
This woman sees your dead children.
I covered them and took them out of the house.
Vera, do you know Victoria?
We've never met before. I was shocked to hear she'd seen Sviatoslav and Stasia in her dream. She's a stranger, but she saw my children.
I see that you escaped from the burning house, but the two children stayed inside.
I did not have time to. I tried to take them out.
It was a regular fall day. Alina was making dinner. The children were playing next to her. Apart from Sviatoslav and Stasia, there was also her 5-year-old daughter Sonia. Natalia was talking on the phone in the next room.
The blaze erupted within a matter of seconds.
We were told it could be caused by the ember that fell out of the stove. The space around the stove caught fire instantly. Thank God Natalia was quick enough to climb out of the window.
However, Alina, her daughter Sonia, and her little brother and sister didn't have time to reach the window.
The fire blocked the way. We couldn't leave through the door. I smashed the other window and threw Sonia out of it. When she fell, she didn't make any noise. I thought she'd hit badly and climbed out to check her.
You saved your daughter. It was a maternal instinct. I understand you well.
But when I tried to climb back in, it was too late. They were sitting on the couch in the corner, holding to each other. I remember their faces and how they screamed.
The fire was so powerful that it forced her back. It even burned her face.
I was 13 kilometers away when I had the call. I heard shouting in the phone, "Hrihori, your house in burning."
And you were somewhere nearby.
I was working in the shed. When I got out, I saw the kitchen burning. I ran to the door, but I couldn't open it.
The neighbors hardly held the mother back when she tried to climb through the window inside the burning house, where her children were.
I can't imagine how she lived through it all and what she feels now.
I sometimes take my phone and zoom in the photos to touch their noses and ears.
Burying your children is the worst thing of all. There's nothing harder.
I couldn't understand what could connect us, and I didn't know why I wanted more and more information about them.
My book says you both share the same curse.
I'd never seen her and we'd never communicated before, but I had the feeling that I knew her well, like I was looking in the mirror.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. In my dream, the dead children were holding an umbrella, so I thought the family could possibly know what it meant.
Vera, what's wrong?
The umbrella?
I bought the same umbrella for Sviatoslav. We entered the store, and he saw it and started asking me to buy it, claiming it would protect him from everything.
I see a lake with beautiful white birds.
The pond. They like to come here. You could often see swans here.
Your children's spirits are standing next to the pond. The swans approach them. They're telling me a downpour. They also showed it in your daughter's dream.
Yes. Sonia has seen them recently. They told her it was raining, and they needed an umbrella.
Look, the fire was too strong. Only a downpour could put it out. This is why the children are in the rain in your dream. You had no chance of saving them even if you'd returned to the burning house. They want you to stop blaming yourself.
I must die. I don't deserve to live. These are your words.
I didn't want to live. I know I had to save them. But I could do nothing.
You cursed yourself. This is the strongest curse. You both are in the same situation.
You also cursed yourself. My book says that your child died and you blame yourself for it.
Yes.
I feel the child was conceived as a result of violence.
Wait, did you get pregnant when you were raped?
Yes, I had a son.
This is beyond shocking. After her mother gave her to two men to rape, the 15-year-old girl got pregnant. Victoria says she decided to give birth anyway, as it wasn't the baby's fault.
What happened to your son?
He died when he was 2 months old. I blame myself for leaving him home with my mother. I was 16 when my son Valerie died.
Victoria left her 2-month-old baby son with her mother for a few hours and went to the hospital in the town.
My mother told me she was feeding him from the bottle, and he began choking. She ran to our neighbors to call an ambulance, but by the time the doctors arrived, he had no pulse. She said, "Victoria, I'm sorry. I failed." And that was it.
The young mother loved her son a lot and dreamed to give him everything she hadn't received from her mother. After the boy died, she lost the meaning of her life.
I kept his photos under my pillow for a long time afterward.
It's not your fault he died. Your mother is to blame.
If I hadn't left, he'd be still alive.
The two women brought death upon themselves with their self-curses. Each of them blamed herself for being unable to save the children's lives.
But what do Stasia and Sviatoslav have to do with it all? Why does Victoria keep seeing them in her dreams?
I hear your children's voices. They're bound to Victoria because they claim she must be their mother.
How is it possible?
Reincarnation. Your children are supposed to be born to Victoria.
I want to have children badly.
A boy and a girl.
I keep praying God to be a mother.
They will come to this world through this woman.
This is why you keep seeing them in your dreams, Victoria. But your children can't reincarnate because you're holding them back with your guilt. And you won't let them come into the world with your self-curse.
I'd love you to help if you can.
Help us, please.
I wrote the names of Victoria's son and Alina's deceased brother and sister. The families had to release them.
Valerie, I love you so much. And I always feel your presence. I forgive my mother and myself.
I love you very, very much, and I let you go.
My dear babies, I let you go. I love you.
Bring me the umbrella, please. As water serves as a conduit between the realms of the living and the dead, I dipped the umbrella into the pond, which the children loved. They will come back. Victoria, you will have children later.
I'm a lot better now.
The love for life returned.
We promise each other to go on living.
Yes.
This is incredible. The awful tragedy, the loss of children, created a mystical bond between two perfect strangers. If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more unbelievable investigations are coming up. The ghost of a woman in white took the life of a little boy. Don't miss out. Terrible vengeance from the other world. What is the responsibility of the dead child's mother? This is Psychic Investigations. Only true shocking stories are collected here. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate unbelievable mystical riddles and resonant criminal cases. A Ukrainian family of the Adamchuks asked the psychics for help. The little boy in this video is Mikita. He's less than 1 year old. The boy has only learned to walk recently. If only his mom, who shot this video, had known her healthy and carefree son would be gone several weeks later.
I woke up and saw him lying. His eyes were open, but he wasn't reacting at all.
The boy was only 1 year old. He had undergone a routine medical checkup which revealed no signs of any ailments.
The doctor's conclusion came as a shock: severe poisoning with unknown substances. But what substances were they? And how did they end up in the baby's body?
The experts failed to identify what particular substance caused the boy's death and what could possibly include it.
Allah has another son, Ivan. The boy is 5. The woman says she has recently started having nightmares in which her elder son dies too.
I had a dream of me standing at a cemetery and saying, "For the peace of Ivan's soul."
The mother is worried her elder son is also in danger.
He almost never got ill, but recently, severe nosebleeds started.
Mom. Mommy.
Alla and her family live in a small Ukrainian village. Her husband, Oleksandr, is a builder and often goes to work abroad. The woman spends most of her time alone with the children. After her son died, she lost the sense of her life and she cries all the time.
She asked God to give her another baby so she wouldn't cry as much for Mikita.
Several months later, Alla's prayers were heard. She got pregnant again. She's now in her 7th month of pregnancy. However, for the past 3 months, the young mother has been suffering from nightmares. In those dreams, her newborn baby dies.
In one dream, I was told that my baby would die 10 days after birth.
Our project's experts, Larisa Hutsanu and Jana Shulikova, agreed to help the young mother.
I see a middle-aged woman. She has dark hair that falls on her shoulders, and her chin is massive. It's really heavy. She looks at me, and her gaze is so sharp that it gives me chills all over my body. she says. She needs this woman's children.
While waiting for Allah, Jana Shulakova also saw a terrible vision.
A block of ice with a little boy frozen inside it. He's rolled up in a ball in there. It's so eerie.
Hello.
Hello.
This is my son Ivan.
Hi there.
I fear for my children.
Let's go look at the boats.
Jana Shulakova decided she would first speak to Allah's son, so she took him for a walk in the park. Meanwhile, Larisa Hutsanu stayed to work with his mother.
I have dreams of losing my baby.
The threat is real. I heard a female voice saying, "I'll take them away from you. You don't need the children," but I didn't tell Allah about this.
Suddenly I had a vision of a boy falling into some foul-smelling green sludge, struggling for breath. I realized that the child was also in danger. Are you afraid to stay home alone?
I am.
Afraid, right?
He cries at night, shouting out something like, "Please don't." But when he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't remember what he was shouting. Last night, he hardly slept at all.
I see some kind of evil entity. And the entity is female. She's rather baleful, strong, and terrifying. She's threatening. I see that one boy is gone, and the other is supposed to be gone too.
We'll do our best to help you out. Don't cry.
I had the impression that Allah had opened a forbidden door, with death standing right behind it.
But where did this unknown force come from, and why is it threatening to deprive the young mother of her children?
Larisa, it's so weird. I'd say the child burned from the inside.
It's like he's sleeping, but his eyes are open.
It's a coma.
The boy was weak for a few days before the coma. He barely ate and had a temperature. His family believed it was because of teeth, which began cutting through recently.
His first 4 teeth began coming through. Naturally, he was very naughty.
If only the young mother had known how she was mistaken. Allah woke up at 4 in the morning for some reason and went to check on her little son, who was sleeping in his crib. But when she touched him, the baby didn't stir.
His eyes were open, but he wasn't reacting at all.
Makita was taken to the hospital. He was admitted to the intensive care unit.
His heart was failing, and they were trying to save him. The doctors didn't think he would live.
Allah didn't lose hope that her son would survive. She spent day and night at his crib, barely sleeping, and singing him his favorite lullabies.
We went to the church to pray. We cried. While he was on the drip in the intensive care unit, I spoke to him.
Makita spent 7 days at the intensive care. Until he died.
Makita is in the heaven. His heart stopped.
Your mother-in-law, I see her giving him something.
Whispering in his ear, I went to pick up tomatoes, and she gave him a watermelon.
The boy's death triggered an investigation into the possible intended killing. All of his relatives were suspects.
The investigators in charge of the case suspected that the baby was poisoned by the watermelon offered to him by his grandmother. However, medical professionals remain uncertain about the specific toxic substance that caused Makita's death.
It turned out that the entire family ate the watermelon the boy was allegedly poisoned with, and none of the family members, including the children who also ate it, got poisoned.
I saw a short woman with dark, shoulder-long hair and a thick, heavy chin. And her eyes were evil.
What woman is the clairvoyant describing? Who is she?
Allah sees signs of the death following her in her own house, and the signs are quite peculiar. It's fire. That is, light bulbs may go on by themselves, wall sockets may crackle, Wires or the TV can sparkle.
The sockets in our home are constantly circuiting and wires caught fire several times.
Yes, you can have fire at home.
The TV started burning once. If I'd slept for half an hour more, we would have all suffocated and died.
It happened on Easter. The next morning, the family was going to go to the church to have the Easter cake sanctified.
The TV burned out of a sudden.
Animals also feel it.
We have a dog. She howled into the window.
I feel a force that's roaming around, taking away children.
Alla shared that. A few days before the psychics arrived, she had a nightmare that gave her chills. In it, she went out of her house and saw a woman standing in the yard.
And she told me, Allah, nobody else arrived. I am the only one who arrived, and I brought you bad news. You'll give birth soon, and your baby will die in 10 days.
Tell me, please, did your son hear the spirit of death?
When it happened to my Kita, I heard distinct footsteps in the attic. Somebody was walking there. I got so scared, thinking someone had courage to climb in there in broad daylight. But when I went to check it, there was nobody there. And recently, while I was putting Ivan to sleep after lunch, he told me, Mom, there's somebody in the attic.
We need to check the house.
The clairvoyants go to the house where the Adamchuks live.
Larissa, are you unwell?
I don't feel well. Stop the van, please. She's just attacked me.
Does anybody have a tissue? Larissa's bleeding.
This is incredible. But a few hours before the psychics arrived, something similar happened to Ivan. What could it be? A mere coincidence or a mystical regularity?
Careful, the bleeding is strong.
This woman came to me. She said, I'm going to strangle you, but she didn't want me. She said, I came for her children. She's here for Ivan.
Why Ivan? Why does she want me and my children? Who is this woman?
This woman, she's dead. That is, a spirit from the netherworld took away your baby's son. It's killing children.
Larissa Hutsanu feels better now. So, Allah takes the psychics into her yard. Is the source of all her troubles somewhere in her house? Larissa Hutsanu stays in the yard, but Jana Shulikova and Allah go inside the house. What do the psychics feel?
There's something in here.
Shock. The TV turned on its own.
What is this?
I don't know how it happened. You can't turn it on without the remote.
What's that?
A strange rumble comes from nowhere.
The woman in white.
I saw the woman in white. She was very tall.
Allah says she saw the woman in white in the house. The ghost was walking around the rooms.
We were in the bedroom, and I really saw the long-haired woman pass by it.
And after that, the young mother began having the nightmares in which this otherworldly entity threatened her.
The woman in white. Could she be the woman Larissa saw? Larissa. What an eerie house.
I saw the woman in white. She passed by this door. She's tall, she has long hair, and she's dressed in all white. She looked at me and then went there.
She had a heavy chin and a spiteful look in her eyes. Let's work a little more, okay?
I got the feeling that fire was scorching my body. I felt it in that house, but it wasn't the house itself that was burning, but icons of saints.
When I only entered the yard, The cards showed me a woman burning something, you see? Icons were burned here. The woman built the house.
An old woman named Parascovia built this house.
Did she have a daughter? Was it her daughter who burned the icons?
Her daughter, who burned the icons, lived here for a long time.
Burning icons is a serious sin. They give you divine protection. If you destroy them, you lose the divine protection.
Parascovia was a fervent believer and had many icons, but her daughter didn't admit the icons could help.
The woman was severely punished for burning the icons. Her punishment was death.
Indeed, the locals say the woman who burned the icons died tragically. She had lung cancer and burned down in several months. But what is the connection between this terrible story to Maikita's death and the things that are threatening Allah's other children?
This yard, it feels like somebody is buried here. Is it a baby?
Larissa!
Quiet, calm down.
I can't.
Quiet.
Water. Do you have water?
Take a seat over here.
What's in the well? What's in the well?
I don't know. By the time we moved in, it was already blocked. It was blocked with lots of litter.
I have a vision. A woman walks, holding a bundle. There's a baby in the bundle. She carries the baby to a well and drops it in, and the baby dies.
Look, on our way here, I told you about it. A block of ice and a baby boy frozen inside it.
We asked the locals, and they told us that 10 years ago, a local woman dropped her newborn baby in the well, the one that is in Allah's yard.
She killed her baby because she was crazy or something. After she drowned the baby, she died herself.
The boy who his mother didn't want. He was left, thrown away.
But what relation does it have to the house?
The female entity.
She takes away children. The children she takes away are those who were abandoned by their parents. God gives us children, and we must look after them. I'll never wish for any mother to lose her children. But on the other hand, it's your fault too. Did you distance yourself from your children?
Nobody understands what the clairvoyant is talking about. Allah's silent. What does it all mean?
Currently, it's not a family. This boat is barely keeping afloat.
Yes, yes, I sometimes fear myself. So much anger gathers in me occasionally.
It turned out Allah and her husband often have scandals because the woman feels lonely. The man spends most of his time abroad, while she stays home with the children. The house and the garden are her responsibility.
At times I'm overwhelmed with rage, and I start nagging and shouting.
They often fight for nothing. And the kid may sometimes get a cuff on his nape too.
Sometimes I can't even control myself. When Yvonne comes to me to ask me something, it causes such aggression in me that I'm unable to hold it back.
And you also directed your aggression at Maikita just like you do with Yvonne.
Yes, it happened. When Yvonne and Maikita both cried, I locked myself in the room and closed my ears. It drove me insane. I couldn't bear to hear them. Everything irritated me. I rarely play with my son. I don't want to play.
God doesn't give us children as toys. We must protect them and guarantee a future for them. You're lucky to have children so easily. You don't know how people pray to God to at least conceive a baby to simply feel pregnant. Your son didn't feel wanted here. You see? He didn't feel like anyone was paying attention to him. You simply came up to him, checked if he was okay, and then left.
You showed weakness.
And that was it. This entity, the woman I saw, she takes away children who are neglected because she watches over such children. There are millions of entities roaming the world, but people attract them themselves.
And if Allah doesn't accept this, she'll keep losing her children.
I don't understand how I could control it. I don't want to shout at them, but I don't understand why I do it.
This is laziness. You're too lazy to make an effort.
Larissa Hutsanu takes the woman inside the house to bring her to her senses. Jana Shulikova stays in the yard. She asked almost the entire crew to leave her alone. She says she's going to put a protection spell on the young family's house, and nobody is supposed to see her do it.
I'll leave you a candle so you feel better. Burn it in front of the icon of Mother Mary and baby Jesus. You'll become a true mother, and no entity will ever enter your house to do any harm to anybody. Pray for your children, so nothing bad enters here to harm them. But above all, it's about you, and only then it's about the entities. You must protect your home. Why is a woman believed to be the one who protects the home?
What are you, first of all? You're a mother, and then you're a wife. Be responsible for your children and for what you say and do. Don't take it as an obligation. Make it a part of your life, or else, when they get older, you'll regret not spending time with them, but living a life confined to yourself.
If only I could go back in time. I'd like to change it.
Change yourself.
After meeting the psychics, the woman changed her life drastically, and she decided to start everything from scratch. While we were preparing the episode, Allah gave birth to a boy she named Bowden. He's 4 months old now, and he's a healthy and happy baby. Her elder son, Ivan, is also doing well.
Everything is fine at the moment. And thank God nothing is bothering us. I often think about how it could have ended if I hadn't reached out and asked for help. My pregnancy went well, and the delivery went without any problems. Everything was all right. I carried the baby and gave birth to him, and he's absolutely okay.
This is hard to believe, but the mother's indifference toward her own children ended in tragedy. Thankfully, the life of the family changed for the better. If you're impressed by this story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more unbelievable investigations are still ahead.